Hi there everybody, this is David and welcome to our review of Disgaea 7 Vows of the Virtuous, released for the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC on October 3rd in North America and the 6th over in Europe. Before we do get started here, I would like to thank Nice America for an early access key for this review. I myself have been a fan of strategy RPGs ever since I got the first Final Fantasy Tactics back in high school, but God forbid Square Enix make a sequel to that series. But Disgaea though, that's definitely one long-running series, and I cannot wait to tell you about the latest entry. After the disastrous performance of Disgaea 6, 7 does seem to be a return to form, and rather than being set in like a more traditional netherworld that we've seen in games past, 7 takes place in a kind of old-world Japanese environment, where shoguns rule the roost, and demons abide by the code of Bushido, or at least they used to. The old, honorable Bushido ways have fallen to the wayside as the shogunates have become corrupted with power and they now brutalize and starve all of the demonic denizens of the netherworld. So the demons do what they have to get by, which pretty much consists of, robbing, pillaging, and plundering. And it's set here that you play as Fuji, a super powerful demonic warrior who will stop at nothing to get what he wants. And in this case, he wants money, honey. He is 10 million hell in debt, and he has to find a way to pay that off. Luckily for him though, he stumbled across the most airheaded naive girl in existence, Perilika. And even though she's about as dumb as a box of rocks, apparently she's the CEO of a company, and she's just made of money, able to buy and sell her way through life, up to and including her own nether ship, which is able to sail along the netherverse to different netherworlds. And Fuji knows an easy target whenever he sees one, so he latches onto her as some sort of bodyguard in exchange for 100 million hell. Over the course of the events though, Perilika reveals that she's also the owner of something called an infernal treasure, which is a highly sought after powerful legendary weapon. Once she reveals it, the sword latches onto Fuji and he becomes its destined warrior. So now together, they go off and find the rest of the infernal treasures in order to become powerful enough to set things right and restore the Bushido Code so that peace can reign once and for all. Or at least be as peaceful as the netherworld can be. And hey y'all, if you're liking this so far, please be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for some more great content. For the most part, I did find the voice acting to be well done, and the characters, who I guess are meant to be annoying, certainly are.
What?
I wanna hear you tell me you love me. I won't want to act out anymore if you do. If anyone can stop me, it's you. Right, Dad?
This is really encapsulated in the character of Ao, Fuji's so-called daughter, who comes roaring onto the scene referring herself into the third person and using baby talk whenever possible. Yet despite all this, she's supposedly powerful enough to single-handedly demolish castles? Some of the dialogue I found to be humorous, getting a chuckle out of me here and there. But for every chuckle, there was an equal amount of groans, give me a breaks, and eye rolls, as the juvenile dialogue began to grate on my nerves. I think it really does take a special type of person to enjoy games like these, and granted, I did too 20-something years ago. But today, baby talk, toilet humor, and missaying common idioms? It's just really dumb, and it's not what I would consider to be my brand of humor. But hey, if it's up your alley, you can go ahead and have a good old time with it. Personally, while I did still go through the entire story, I just read through it at my own pace, because to me, the story was just something to kind of sit through before I got to the real meat of the game, the battles, which I will say were absolutely stellar, pretty challenging, and the main reason to play this game. I mean, at the end of the day, a strategy RPG is all about its battles. It lives and dies by those. It is nothing if the combat isn't fun, and they definitely learned their lessons from 6, as I believe that 7 offers some of the best story maps that I've seen in the series. They all have varied arrays of enemy units, and they all seem to work well with the level design too. Even the boss fight maps are better here, because if you remember the previous games, those bosses, they would just be stuck in a little tiny room and then you slugged it out. But not here. The bosses reside in an actual stage. The gameplay loop is pretty simple. Your nethership acts as your home base where you do your buying and your selling, recruiting, accepting side quests, changing laws, and just like a myriad of other things. But whenever you're ready to move on with the story, you just talk to the dimensional Prinny, who will allow you to move on and get to the next stage. Though if you do want to replay any of the previous stages, you can. Each individual stage also comes with its own missions and rewards, 5 of them to be exact. And if you fulfill the requirements of the missions, such as like dealing a certain amount of damage, or using items, or defeating the map with a reduced amount of characters, or just whatever, then you'll get an associated reward for that. This adds yet another twist to the strategy, as, yeah, you could just go in there like guns blazing with your best characters and slaughter all the enemies, or you could really look at what the game asks you to do and then handicap yourself in some way in order to fulfill the missions and get those rewards. A lot of the stiffness and bugginess from 6 is completely gone, and the music is just a massive improvement over what was presented back in 5 and 6, so no worries there. There's also 45 different classes to choose from, 4 of them brand new, and several of the unique skills are actually useful this time, and they do remain useful throughout the course of the game. Also, the sub-weapon slot that was in the previous games has now been removed, and the classic weapon system has been restored, although each weapon can only have 4 skill slots this time around. Then, there's the jumbo system, where enemies and allies alike can turn like giant-sized, which can make for a lot of new exciting conditions during battles, and whenever your characters are equipped with infernal treasures, they get access to like a limit break thing called Hell Mode, which greatly boosts their stats and allows them to utilize special different skills. If I were to boil this game down to one thing, I would say that they took what was great about the first few games, and a couple of ideas from 5 and 6, but refined their design, made it a bit more user-friendly, and they also fixed the progression and pacing system. All in all, I do feel like this is a worthy entry into the Disgaea series, and I do think that if you're a fan of it, and you enjoy its special brand of humor, then you'll have a good time here. So that's it for my impressions and review of Disgaea 7. Please let me know what you think about the games in the series, and if you're going to be picking this one up too. Let's get a discussion going on here, and let's all talk and chat about it, because I'm always in the comments too. And if you like what I do on the channel, please head on over to the Patreon to sign up for early access to my videos, as well as behind the scenes photographs. The link to it is in the video description. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.